appropriate emergency services, the fire department and EMT, in areas that are currently on the outer response area.
As you all know, the recommended 5-minute time for firefighters to get out there is really not all that possible right now in the outskirts of San Antonio, and that is a real issue. I would make sure that we would make that a priority and make sure that the funds would be there for our first responders, and I think that should be our first order of business, to keep our people safe. And I would just make sure that that would be included in the budget. And also we have to look at developers and charge them fees. Of course, this wouldn't be very popular with them, to help with fire stations in new subdivisions that are in the outskirts of San Antonio. We need to keep up with the population growth and make sure that we have city services to take care of everyone in our city. So we have to be responsible as far as annexations and making sure that everybody has the city services that they need.
We are a growing city, 1.5 million plus, 7th largest city in the country. The last count in District 8 was 119,666, but with the annexation of Cobb Seal late 2005, and then on the I-10 corridor out there where I live, there's been a lot of development and a lot of new rooftops. Certainly the 47 fire station is out there at Stonewall Ranch. But I want to look at this realistically. We're going to talk about annexation in these outlying areas. I want to make sure that we're good stewards with our dollars and make sure that we're able to sustain the growth. I don't want to annex folks if we don't have the city services to do so.
And all of
I think the question was, what would you do about the situation with the firefighters? Currently, the city spends about $168 million a year for the firefighters, and obviously we would need more money to pay for more stations and more firefighters. What the city is currently doing is trying to put aside money for times when it becomes lean, because the money that comes in from property taxes may ebb and flow depending on the foreclosure rate and a lot of different other circumstances. So I would make sure that we continue to operate fiscal responsibility and then put that money towards public services like firefighters.
You know, I'm a public policy professional, and I'll tell you that I was selected by City Manager Cheryl Scully to be on the police selection committee for the new police chief. And one of the things I did was do some research, and what I found was, along with revenues growing exponentially, population has increased. And population has increased, but the services haven't increased. So what we find is we're down deficient hundreds and hundreds of police officers in the city. Last year, the city agreed to hire 100 new police officers, and one of the challenges for the police department is being able to hire and train, and I want to help the police do that.
We're being asked to vote on a bond package. Why should we vote for it, and how is it going to help District 8 specifically?
The $550 million bond package I view as historic. Certainly it's the first time in our history that we've dealt with a bond package this large. There's other Texas cities that are dealing with bond packages that are in the billions of dollars. Certainly I like this bond package because it had citizen input. The committees that were established were comprised of citizens, and the citizens had input of where the dollars were going to be spent. And so I think that's historic. I think we can get better. We have a good bond rating, and certainly we can grow and learn from this. As far as District 8 is concerned, when you talk about the area not too far from here, off Prue Road near Bandera, that winding way there by Parkwood Maintenance, that's going to be widened, and those folks desperately need that. I look at that area there, it is a hazard for the folks coming in and out of those neighborhoods, and certainly the money is going to be well spent. But in regards to the bond, I do like the way that the citizens had input on it. I attended some of those meetings, and I was very proud of the fact that citizens took a long, hard time and an active role in deciding where these monies are going to be spent.
I'm in favor of the bond proposal because realistically the needs in this city are probably about $2 billion, and we have to start somewhere, and I think $550 million is a good start for the city to try to correct some of the inherent problems that have actually been neglected for decades. And that's why we are experiencing a lot of drainage problems in a lot of different areas, and we need to play catch up. And I think this bond proposal is going to help us to do that.
I support this bond initiative, and one of the things we know is there's really not a significant amount of money for drainage projects for District 8 in this bond initiative. One of the things the city is talking about is having another bond in 3 years and another in 3 more years. one of the things that happened in this bond was that much of the money was used for community projects. I believe in the next bond initiative, that District 8 council members are going to have to make sure that District 8, that our bond money stays in District 8 to help our roads and our infrastructure, including drainage.
I'm also in support of the bond program. I think it's time that we invest in our city and in ourselves. And I know that there will be some street work done around the medical center, and we will acquire the second largest park in San Antonio, just 10 acres short of the size of Breckenridge Park. And we all know that we're lacking in green space, and so I strongly support the bond issue. And as we know, it's not enough for all our needs, but at least it's a start, and it's a citywide.
The city of San
We've heard from everyone your experience and leadership qualities. What separates you from the other candidates?
I think several things. My experience, I think, is greater in terms of direct experience with the city, number one, because of some of the commissions and boards that I've served on. Number two, I'm a business owner, and I think to bring that paradigm to city council is important, that we operate the city as a business. And thirdly, I'm a healthcare professional, and healthcare is a big issue with the city. As a matter of fact, the police officers' prepaid health plan will be non-solvent by 2012. So you need that kind of expertise to help the city along in terms of health care. And again, the fact that I'm a business owner, I think, plays large with that.
or your property. As a public policy professional, I have 20 years of experience working with government. And I'll tell you, I was the chair of City Commission, the San Antonio Development Agency, and here's what I found. This past year, in 2006, early 2006, I took over as chair. I found so much waste after conducting an independent audit that I met with the city manager, and I turned over the entire commission back over to the city of San Antonio. The mayor, in open session, told me that I was courageous because I wanted to fight for taxpayer dollars.
I'm outside of city government, but I was a teacher for 28 years, and I think that says a lot about my work ethic and dedication. And I raised, as a single mom, 3 wonderful children, and I'm an educated person. There's nothing there that I cannot learn. And so I feel that I'm very qualified, and I am a lifelong resident of San Antonio, 56 years, and I don't mind telling you my age, because I know you're going to find out anyway. Nothing's a secret anymore. And I think I'm very qualified for this job.
I would have to say my experience of working with the taxpayers, or for the taxpayers, for nearly 15 years. I worked for 3 state agencies, worked for the Texas Senate, 5 years for a Texas senator, and also for a mayor. I worked downtown in the mayor's office, and again, not only in one council district, but all 10. I've worked with a variety of level of staffers, department heads, on the state level, on the county level, on the federal level, and on the city level, on all levels of government. And I'm a team player, coalition builder, and I like to build consensus, and I'll do that for you each and every day.